Hello everybody. Today I am piecing together an LS1-KU adjustable LS engine mount adapter bracket. This is a bracket it's slightly adjustable. It's adjustable within 1 7/8 inch, I think. But it's intended to fit a 3-bolt Chevy small block engine mount to an LS engine, so you could just bolt the engine directly into where the small block Chevy came out of. This is all I'm doing to make the engine mount up to my 71 Cheyenne. I already have one mount already assembled. You'll be seeing that a little bit later in the video. I just figured I'd do a little quick piece together for you so it's a little bit more than mud clear as the instructions are. First you're going to need, it comes with all these bolts, the washers, the nuts, the two mounting brackets. That bracket's going to bolt to the mount, and then the mount is going to use a carriage bolt to bolt to that. But that has to bolt up to the engine block before you can actually mount the bolt to it. Mount the mount to it. You know what I mean? So anyway, first things we're going to do, we're going to take this big guy here, and we're going to place all of these bolts through the countersunk holes. They're countersink bolts. And I'm going to see how talented I am by being able to do this with my phone in my hand, because dummy me didn't have a camera holder. But there we go, that just slid right into place, like so. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to take the engine mount. You're going to set the engine mount directly down on those bolts. Easy, right? Next thing, washers. Comes with This kit comes with 6 flat washers because it's got 2 mounts. It's actually good for 2 mounts. So you put these washers on. This is the only one I'm having problems with. And then these are lock nuts. Got that little piece of plastic in them to keep them from going anywhere. So that's loosely assembled. I'm going to go ahead and tighten them down. I'll be right back. So I'm back. I already got the mount tightened up. I should have mentioned that you're going to need a hex key to actually tighten up the bolts for the backside. You just use the hex key to hold the bolts, and then you tighten the nut down. I think that's a 14mm socket that I used. Next, you're going to want to get this ready and bolt it to the engine block. This little guy uses these 2 carriage bolts. The 2 carriage bolts are going to feed through, and they're going to hold that thing in place. And as you can see, they got the little slides there, so the little slides actually keep it, or allow it to be adjustable, so you can, they say it's to adjust for weight distribution. You have your flat washers, and you have your lock nuts. So let's go ahead and get this piece together and put this on the engine. As you can see, the carriage bolts are going to go through the side opposite where the countersink goes, because the countersink is actually going to be going into the engine block. So I'll be right back, and I'll go ahead and place this in place. You're going to need 2 hands for this, and again, I don't really have a stand or a phone or a camera holder. I am recording all of this from my phone. So now I got 2 of those bolts in already. Just showing you. Those 2 bolts are holding everything up right now. I'm putting the other 2 in. Got 1 there. And I'm really doing this catty corner. You don't really have to. I just do it because force of habit for everything else I've done with this crazy engine. Got your hex key. That's actually a better angle. You see the whole mount, the whole bracket, and it's bolted up there with 4 bolts. As I said before, this whole thing goes together with a hex wrench. Now, when I was talking about the instructions earlier and I mentioned they were clear as mud before the manufacturer themselves contact me and start yelling at me about telling you the instructions are clear as mud, I guess I should add a little addendum to it that it basically calls this bracket and this bracket the mount bracket. So, you know, it says mount the engine mount to the mount bracket, and I had to look at it for about 10 minutes before realizing how the thing just pieces together. After realizing it and after showing you on the video, you'd think it's common sense, but apparently not for some of us. Alright, got that mounted up. Now, we're going to take this, and we're just going to slide it over these bolts. And then if you slide it over those bolts and you move it all the way to the left here, I've noticed if you move it all the way one way, it'll hold the bolts in place while you put the nuts and the washers on. If you slide it to the other way, they kind of sink in. But let me get these. So there we go. We got the mount up. The mount is ready to be tightened. And 19mm socket. Just cinch them right up. Like I said, they're lock washers, so it's not really going to tighten up really easy all the way. I'm actually going to leave the mount just a tad bit loose because I want to be able to go inside my engine cavity, and it's a little too tight. I like my chair, my extra squeaky chair. It's the only one they give me around here. They say I mess up the other ones. There we go. We're going to leave it a little bit loose so we can actually slide this back and forth. The other one is already installed, like I said. And once I'm able to slide these back and forth, I can easily just drill that mount in, tighten these both down on both sides, have the engine mounted almost exactly where I want it within that distance. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.